Welcome to another edition of Up and In It. I'm your host, Adrian Babashoff. And if you're new here, welcome as well. And if you're wondering what this show is about, it's entirely dedicated to improving quality of life through liberation and independence for both people and planet. I almost messed that up. Moving you from surviving to thriving and living life raw. Maybe it's part of the vino. I don't know. We're going to wet our whistle one more time. What's going on, guys? I got a good episode for you today. This is episode 145, and it's about be yourself. Got to get these shows out in 20-minute increments because I can't really afford anymore to keep posting as much as I want to. So we're going to shorten these things up to 20 minutes. Down below, there's a link to my email. I want you guys to ask me questions. Let me know how I'm doing. Please, it helps me stay fired up. I'm really considering about possibly giving up the show. This doesn't seem like it's taken much momentum, and I don't really see why it would, because a lot of this is what I call the alternative lifestyle design. This is the alternatives to the lifestyle design that we're all living. And more than that, I love this, and I'm really thinking about changing the show's name to Resilient Rebels or Resilient Rebel Podcast. I like Rebels because it includes you guys with me, and I don't know, we're rebelling, and I think a lot of people don't have that in them. I don't think that they have what it takes to actually, what this show is called, Be Yourself. Now, I don't think they have the guts, and I don't think they have they don't want to. You know, we want to do different stuff. We want the easy road, and I don't think a lot of the stuff that I'm talking about probably makes sense or even is something that people want to do. That's why I made an episode where I don't think the show's for everybody. But I do believe, I still have hope that there's people out there that want to be themselves, that want to change shit, that actually want to make real stuff go, move from the dreams to the reality. And in order to do that, we have to know ourselves, and we have to stop living other people's dreams and listening to, there's a lot of rules and regulations that need to follow, you know, but there's a lot of stuff that I think doesn't make sense. We shouldn't be, there's a lot of unwritten laws, a lot of things we do, and I'm wondering, where does this even come from? You know, why are we doing these things? Who said that this is the way it's supposed to be? There's certain things: don't drive the speed limit, don't kill, rape, murder, all that crazy stuff. This is a potty mouth podcast too. Damn it. I hope I didn't mess that up, but viewer and listener discretion is advised. We're broadcasting live from my F-350 pickup truck. We're not driving. I'm spending my one night off Monday night with you, and I'm very excited to do so. Let's jump into it. Enough gilly-gallying around. We only have 20 minutes. So I have no idea what I'm doing, guys, and neither do I really give a shit. I'm trying all kinds of different things. I am a rebel, a resilient rebel, and I want you guys to be as well. But the way that I have self-empowerment, and we're going to go through a couple negative things, and we're going to go through some positive things. We're going to figure out how we got here. For the most of us, I have no crystal ball. I can't tell what your life is, but I do see similarities in other people, and I have the joy of not knowing what the fuck I'm doing and just going for it and trying new things, thinking outside the box. And I get that from self-empowered, self-motivation, and really, as I say a lot on the shows, not giving a shit what other people think about me. But even myself, sometimes I question, who the fuck are you? What are you doing, man? Does this even make sense? And sometimes it makes full sense, and sometimes it doesn't. And when you're out there being a cosmonaut, I guess, of thought and theory and experimentation, there's nothing to measure yourself against. And I think that's absolutely perfect. I told my daughter this. The biggest job, I think, the biggest achievement that we could all have in our lifetime is to figure out who the fuck you are. So, moving forward, not knowing what the fuck I'm doing, what a great way. I probably lost half of you already. You have no choice, basically. You have no choice because you are who you are. We are all unique little snowflakes, all right? We all have different talents and things that we have and views and insights and mindsets. And to me, this is the area of where depression and things come from. And this is where failure and things come from, because you're measuring yourself against other people. Other people aren't you. You have a magic inside you. You have a fire inside you. You have imagination and ingenuity. And that's how new things are born. Elon Musk, Einstein, Leonardo da Vinci, painters, you know, one of my favorite bands, Stone Temple Pilots. You know, I've never really seen somebody move like Scott Weiland did. Same thing with bands like Nirvana, Jimi Hendrix, The Doors. how these people just did stuff. There's painters, writers that do things. Terrence McKenna, one of my favorite, just thought-provoking people of psychedelics and a marriage of craziness, of philosophy. And Sadhguru. Sadhguru is another one my mom turned me on. A lot of these people, they're saying things and doing things that nobody else is doing because they're following their own heart, following their own shit, and they haven't been conditioned. And I think the majority of you guys, not all, and this is just my opinion, this is the opinion of one person, you've been conditioned. You've allowed yourself to be conditioned. And that's conditioned by the system. And it comes from many, many, many things. A lot of them I don't want to mention, but the one that I will is public education, internet, entertainment, and things like that. We're all measuring ourselves up to these successful people and things. And very few people show us the shit that they had to go through to get to where they are. I heard that great painters way back centuries ago had to be sex slaves to the kings and queens and things like that to actually get funded to get where they were at. They had to go with the rich to get their paints and to get noticed and everything, and it's a horrible thing. A lot of people had to go through some shit. But you know what? Nowadays, we don't have that. At least not yet. We have the internet. Well, we have that going on with, places. But I think a lot of things are changing. An entrepreneur, anybody who's in entertainment, like writing a book, playing music. Right now we have the internet, and it's look at what I'm doing right now. I'm broadcasting my show, drinking some wine, talking shit. And there's nobody here to say, you can't fucking do that. You can't say that. I get to say and do whatever I want. And you guys, wake up. You've been conditioned, yes, but you can uncondition yourself, okay? Society, your family, your parents, your grandparents, so many things are conditioning you. Commercials. And this is not the way life is meant to be, and you fucking know it. You know in your knower that you're not happy. You may get successful and get diamond rings and this bling bling like people do in a Ferrari. And as I say all the time, doing 2 chicks or 2 dudes at the same time. But you know inside that something's fucking empty. And that's why we have a lot of sad fucking people. They don't know who they are. And they've been conditioned to think that this is what happiness is. I can't tell you what happiness is. But one thing I can tell you, though, is that you condition yourself as well. You've been conditioned. And as I say, I've conditioned myself too. I'm not trying to single anybody out here, but what I'm trying to get to a positive here is that when we've been conditioned, we start thinking in boxes and we get in our lane. Stay in your fucking lane. Don't start thinking outside the box. You might be crazy. They might lock you up. They might do some, you know what I mean? All kinds of crazy stuff. But then there's yourself that comes in too. And there's that inner dialogue. This is who the hell are you? What do you think you're going to change? You have no education. You have no formal education. You never went to college. For Christ's sakes, that's when you get enough of your belt. That's why I hope to be an ambassador for the fucking underdogs. Listen to me, guys. I never graduated even, I made it out of grade school, and I never made it past 7th grade. I had to quit. I started working when I was very, very young, and I learned a lot. It took me a lot of years. My teens, I was dumber than shit. And once I hit my 20s, I actually struck up some deals. And I'll tell you guys real quick because I don't have a lot of time. But I went to a friend of mine, a guy I knew, and I said, I'm too young to actually run a business legally and have a business. And I have no experience behind me to actually get licensed and all these kind of things. But I understand that you are. What if I utilize your license and your insurance and everything? And if I can bring you the money, I'll pay for a portion of the stuff, and I'll actually give you a portion of the profits that come in. It's worth it for me. It's worth it for you. The only reason this person did agree to these terms was because they knew that I was a person of my word. They saw me when I was 13 years old, busting my ass in the middle of summer in construction jobs and working my ass off. I had all my own tools and everything. They knew I was a person of my word. And that's what I try to teach my children and would love to share with you guys. Be a person of your word. We don't own very much in this planet, in this world at all, but your word is what you fucking own. One of the very, very few things. And when people know that you don't have your word, it's very difficult, if not impossible, to get it back. Do what you say you're going to do. Let people Do things that you're not supposed to do, meaning go above and beyond, sweep floors, do things, help other people with no other, like, not even asking anything in return. And the things that will come back to you will just be immense. So by being a person of my word and not even really proving myself to this person personally, they just watched me. They knew who I was. And I used ingenuity. I wasn't conditioned. And I believe a lot has to do. It's not for everybody. I think some of you can go to school, go to college, get into debt for a couple $100,000 or whatever it is, work your ass off to pay it off. And maybe some of you, I know people who are really, really well off. Are they happy? In my opinion, that's just my opinion, I don't think that they are. I think that they're overworked and not really doing stuff that they love. And they really don't. They've been so busy chasing success that they haven't even attempted to actually be themselves. So we condition ourselves, guys. We definitely condition ourselves. Let's stop pointing the finger out. And it's a positive. I don't want to make this sound like a negative, but when we get that inner part, which we're going to get to, and you understand this, and you understand that you have a power, you have the choice to change that shit around, then you're unstoppable. And the last one is there's no one coming to help. When we're down, I was listening to David Goggins. This guy really tripped me out. I said it a couple times already on the show, but I really want to look more into him. And as he said, social media and all that stuff can't fix all this stuff in your head. When you're depressed, when you're suicidal, when you feel like you're a piece of shit, you're all alone. And there's nothing really that a lot of people could do to change that. They can give you a back massage, buy you a fucking ice cream cone, and that's all fine. But a lot of us go and look to social media, I think for sexuality. That's why pornography is like, what did they say? Like 80% of the internet is used for pornography. I'm a guy, I should dig these kind of things, but I think it's pathetic. Really, it's really, really pathetic. You guys need to get your shit together. But you're all alone. Those things, it's not a real woman or it's not a real man. A lot of these things are just, they're little Band-Aids, and it's just to dazzle your mind for a little while and for you to wonder what it would be like to be this person or this thing and not being yourself. There's no one coming to help. You need to help yourself. It's the greatest human endeavor, I think, beyond science, mathematics, all kinds of things. I think that I really believe this, guys. I know it may sound insane, but it's one of the biggest human endeavors is to understand and work and spend that time to know who you are, what you're capable of. And I think we're capable of many, 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 many huge things. Quick story, not to make it too long. The thought that was coming in my head today. When my first daughter was born, I was outside with my mom and my significant other's mother. And we were 34 hours of labor, I think. And I haven't slept with her. I was awake the whole entire time. I'm outside, I'm delirious, and all of a sudden I get this feeling, and I'm like, I gotta go back in there. Like, look, calm down, you haven't had sleep, just relax, everything's okay. She gave birth to the baby, everything's done. And I says, no, there's something going on. I ran to the hospital, went up to the room, found out they moved her without me even knowing where she was at, found out where she was at. When I opened the door, she was like, thank you so much for coming. I'm bleeding, I can't stop, and I need help. And I kept sending you a signal, and I fucking picked it up. Me and that other person, the mother of my children, both know what happened right there. Nobody else doesn't have to believe it or anything, but I was in tune. And, so that's my story. I don't know. Let's wet the whistle and move on. All right, next. Personal power of decision. So that's what I was alluding to. That's what I was getting to there. I think for myself, I decided a long time ago, I don't give a fuck what people think about me. I think that's how I can do this show. I spill my beans, man. I don't know if this is, sometimes I wonder, as I say, is this too much? I know this goes on forever. Like, I publish these shows on YouTube and Spotify and iTunes. It's out there for anybody to see forever. And I'm really being super painfully honest with a lot of this stuff, and it's kind of scary. But then I think about it and I go, you know what? Who gives a fuck? I really don't give a shit. I hope that the examples that I lay actually helps people and brings them value. If you think that it does, the link's below. There's upandinitshow@gmail.com. Look at the description below all this stuff here, whether it's on YouTube or Spotify, or there's my email. Let me know how I'm doing and let me know what questions you guys have. Make me prove myself to you. I really, really do not give a fuck what the fuck other people think about me. I don't want to share every single personal detail of my life, but really it's personal power of decision. And anything I go, as I said, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, but I do know I'm giving it my all, and I'm definitely not scared of failure. I guess to give you guys some perspective, I'm an entrepreneur. I run my own construction business. I'm starting a whole garden business. I'm doing these podcasts for you guys. I'm a single dad. I do blogging, vlogging. I make videos. I'm editing. I'm learning how to build websites. I'm trying to do so many things all at once, and I don't know if I'm going to be successful at any of them. I know that I'm successful in my construction business. I know I've been successful growing my own food. I feel that, but I don't know how the world's going to take it. I make really, really good money. I take mini retirements. I can work pretty much whenever I want. I already have enough money for the entire year of 2021. I don't really need to do anything. I can just sit back if I want to. But I want to buy maybe a house, or I might want to go traveling. I don't know. So I'm going to work extra hard to make some extra coin and keep this thing going. But it's all from the power of my decision. I decide who I am. I decide what I'm going to do. I decide when I'm going to work, when I'm not going to work. I decide how much money I'm going to make. It's a wonderful feeling, and it is completely fucking possible. I don't know. I try to write these notes down right for you guys for these shows, and it really helps if you guys ask me certain questions about it so that I can add these things and actually build a show around what your questions are so I can help you achieve the same things that I've got. Because really, at the end, that's what I want. And it's perpetual self-empowerment, guys. When you get on a roll, it's like a muscle, right? I talk about this all the time. It was Stephen Hawking was saying the brain is like a muscle. The more you use it, I mean, it seems like it's common sense. It was a hypothesis that I had. And once I heard him say that, I was like, cool. Then, other people, smart people, not a fucking dummy ape like me, but all of these things where it's spirituality, mindset, your thoughts, positivity. Look at negativity. Look how easy it is for us to go and say, oh, things suck, and I can't really do anything. And you have to have a bunch of people to move a house, or a mountain or something. There's no way one person can move a mountain. But there's ways. There's things that we can do. It's self-empowerment, and we need to make that perpetual. And the way to get there is by exercising, by doing the things that you want, doing the things that you love, seeking these things out, and getting past the dream and figuring out what you got to do to turn that into a reality. And it's a lot of work. You got to be willing to do the work, as I opened up with this show. Can we do that? Do we want to do that? Or do we want to be conditioned, as I said? Do we want to be told what the fuck to do, when to do it, how much taxes to pay, when to show up, when not to show up late and get scolded, go to learn information that you don't want to fucking learn especially when you're a kid. The best fucking thing I'm going to say hands down was when I quit school and went to work full time. Best day of my fucking life. I couldn't wait to get the fuck out of there. In fact, when I took the contractor state license exam for the state of California where I live, I looked at that and I was like, this pertains nothing to the way I make money. I have my own way of making. So to finish off, guys, not graduating, not even ever making it to high school, not even graduating junior high school. I grossed a third of $1 million back in 2016. I made a lot of fucking money. And I know other people friends of mine who did the same. They're rich people though. They're not like me. They're millionaires. I'm not, I'm a thousandaire. But the point was, I met a lot of people, and other people, when I told my story, were like, yep, I know people just like you. Yep, it's totally fucking possible. So yeah, without all that, that's why I rant and I rave, and it really doesn't matter. It could be completely, I can go right back to not doing anything, not saying anything to anybody, going back off and traveling and doing the things that I do, but I want to be here, and I want to help people, and I want people to know that you have to decide. You have to make that decision. As I said, you're all alone. There's nothing I can say or anybody else could fucking say. You have to get the self-motion, the perpetual motion in yourself. Utilize the muscles of your spirituality, your fucking mindset, your energy, just your decision to decide, look, I am a resilient fucking rebel. I am going to go and do what it is that I want to do it, the way I want to do it. And if you fuck up, great. There's no such thing as fucking up. Now you understand what to do different. Even if you have to start at square fucking one, like wipe everything out and completely restart. You keep working and working and working as much as I do and others that I know, you will eventually get there. It may not look like what you think it is because it'll have to evolve. You'll have to pivot, especially in this day and age. We got shit coming at us from north, south, east, west, top to bottom. Sometimes, it's like being in a boxing ring with Mike Tyson. You're just getting your ass whooped. But guess what? You get tougher. You get smarter. You start to sit back and you start to watch things a little bit more before you make a giant move. You understood that giant move that you made really hurt you. But that's good. You wouldn't know. You can't. Confucius, the knife is sharp. Tells the student, the knife is sharp, be careful. The student says, yes, I know, master. He says, oh, do you? One day he's cutting vegetables and slices himself wide open and says, oh my God, master, the knife is sharp. He says, yes, I told you. But that student now knows, damn, that knife is sharp. There's a whole newfound respect. I hope that you decide, I hope you make decisions, I hope you venture out, but I hope you don't cut yourself so deep that you can't recover. But play it wise, be good. Be careful in this day and age, but find out who you are. And then all fear of failure and all of those things, be you, everything disappears. That's the show, guys. You can check it out. It's up and in it on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and anywhere where you can find the podcast. And as I always say, guys, go out there and have yourself a near-life experience. Don't lose your muchness. Carry on the fire. Human up. Live it, love it, own it. And bone it, my friends.